Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. So welcome to my episode 6, season 2 review of Krypton. Krypton. Why do I keep on saying Krypton? Am I a Marlon Brando or something? Anyway, the more I watch this show, the more I absolutely fall in love with it. What a fabulous series this is becoming. What I love about it, the greatest compliment I can give this show, is that it's moved on from season 1 so far. So you've got this first chapter, but this second chapter is something it's just moved on so far. It hasn't stayed still. I said, didn't I, to you guys, for Krypton to become a successful show, season 2 would have to become its own entity, would have to move the saga on. Exactly what they did with Smallville season 2, and that went for 10 years. I hope it's getting the numbers it needs because it is the best show on TV. It is the best comic book. It's definitely the best DC TV show. Not that there's much competition from CW's Arrowverse, or should I call them the men haters. So let's talk about something here. There's a debate going on right now about strong female characters. We hear it all the time, coming out of the shadows of men. We've had characters like Captain Marvel, but Hollywood seem to keep on talking about this. Strong female leads, right? Strong female characters. But they don't seem to be writing strong female characters. They talk a good game. When it comes to it, all the females seem to do is put down the men. But at last, we have got a character that has stood up in her own right, and she's fucking formidable. Jax played by Amanda, right? Amanda is playing this character brilliantly because she's a top quality actor, right? But not just that. The writing for this character, the stature of this female character. She's a leader. She's relentless. She's merciless. She's a hero. She does what has to be done. Jax is the best, not just the best female character, but one of the best characters on television. So absolutely congratulations to Amanda and the writing, David S. Goyer, and the co-showrunner who's doing a great job, who's called Cameron as well, by the way. All doing a great job. This episode was an important episode because we had the biggest shock in a DC TV show ever, since we saw Chloe blow up in that safe house in the season 3 finale in Smallville. They killed off Lyta. Zod. You couldn't have forgot that already. You don't want me to do a previously on Krypton. But no, I don't know if that's going to stick. I still don't believe it. The cast keep on telling me it is. Amazing. This show is amazing. I'm really getting to like Val more and more each week. He is that kind of Marlon Brando type of Kryptonian, isn't he? He's the kind of Kryptonian we imagine from Superman the movie, and even the beginning part of Man of Steel, don't we? The well-stilted English language. He's a gentleman, but he's also a hero, and he's a great character played by a great actor. And absolutely, this cast are brilliant. But what I love about these people is the way they're all on Twitter. They're such nice people. Amanda herself, who plays Jax, was talking about someone who's being bullied. It was brilliant. It was beautiful. It was great of her to make the effort, but I just love their presence on Twitter. Of course they're on there. They want to plug the show. You know, this is a small show ratings-wise, and they're trying to plug it as much as they can. And they want jobs next year. They want a season 3. And I, for one, I'm trying to secure that as much as possible by watching the hell out of it and retweeting it, telling everyone about it. One of the major reasons I'm doing these reviews, because they don't get a lot of views, is to try and get some excitement going. If you can't be excited for a Krypton show that's about to show us Doomsday next week, we've already had Lobo. We're already getting a Krypton spin-off series called Lobo. I mean, how awesome is that? But this episode was brilliant. And I'm surprised they never touched on this, but kind of. Jaina was responsible for Seg's parents' death in a way. She did the execution, didn't she? But they really didn't talk about that because I'm thinking when you see them all break down, I'm thinking, well, Jaina, now you know how it feels. But of course, she's a changed character now. She's lost her daughter. It's devastating. When she says to Seg, even if we do defeat Zod, what happens the next day? Leiter is still gone. Great point. I love Dev as a character. He's really good. The stature of the actor, the acting, brilliant. And Zod, Drew Zod. I mean, he's fucking amazing. I mean, I've always been an admirer of Colin Salmon ever since I saw him in the Bond movies. So cool, so classy. I never thought he could pull off a villain like this, but he really is. And what I liked about this episode, he was a lot more dangerous in this episode. I really felt a threat from him because in the first few episodes of this series, I didn't feel that, and that was a bit of a complaint of mine. He's just standing around saying stuff. He didn't seem very dangerous, but obviously they were keeping him a bit kind of there so he could build up to after Leiter had died. He's a great villain in the sense, and this is why I like the Man of Steel version as well. He's kind of, I wouldn't say, he is an honourable guy. He has these ideas and his faults. He thinks he's doing the best for his planet. But of course, all fascist dictators think they're doing the best for their people. But that won't stop them doing things to make their people suffer or die. And Zod's very pragmatic in that aspect. And Colin's really playing that element of it really well. So really enjoying Zod. He's very important to this season because he's the main villain. So I'm very interested. But one of the great things, one of the best concepts they've come up with this year is this Brainiac and Seg-El dynamic. It's absolutely freaking awesome. And Cameron Cuff is playing the hell out of this. He's really having a good time with it, isn't he? It's so good. So good. And the actor who plays Brainiac, he's one of the best actors. Again, I mean, you've got top quality actors. We talk about Amanda as Jack Sir, who's really, for me, again, the performer of the week. She's really setting this show alight. And in the end there, Val let her go. So she's gone out to the wilderness of Krypton. Well, when will we see her again? Well, at a guess, I think I know who she's going to bump into next time we see her at Lobo. I think we're going to see her and Lobo share some scenes, and I would absolutely love that. Those two characters, they're kind of these relentless characters, aren't they? So that will be really, really interesting. Now, I'm not sure if what her sexuality is in this as well. Does she like women? Does she like men and women? I don't know. But something between Jax and Lobo would be such fun. And maybe Jax can move to the spin-off, although I'd miss her on Krypton. But no, Amanda is... I'm just so... What's the word I'm looking for? In awe of her. The actor and the character she plays, because I'm so happy that, and we shouldn't have to be going, oh wow, what a great representation for a woman on television. This should be the norm. But unfortunately, people in Hollywood, and some of them are my friends and some of them are not, don't get it, no matter how I try and explain to them. You want to create strong female characters, you want people to like female characters, because let's be honest here, for 20 or 30 years, men have dominated television and film. It's a new thing for women to take centre stage. It's not right. It certainly isn't right. So you want to give people, and it's kind of unfair in a way because it's like you have to make more effort with female characters and the male characters don't have to do that. And I understand the injustice of that, but that's the way it is. And what they've done with Jax is says, right, this is a character, right? Don't look at her as a man or a woman, but I'm just so impressed with what they've done with her. And Leiter was freaking amazing in this episode, wasn't she? She really was. I really enjoyed her. She would do anything to save her son's life. She outwitted Zod, who's obviously a genius, a great tactician, but he never saw that coming because he wouldn't have thought that she knew the code, but of course she did because she was part of all of that, weren't she, in season 1. So absolutely brilliant. And Seg at the end there admitted to Nyssa. Did I say Leiter instead of Nyssa? It's Nyssa. I don't know what I said before. Forget what I said before. But yeah, he told Nyssa about the connection he has with Brainiac. So that's going to be interesting. Very interesting how she reacts to that next week. But I think the big thing we're looking forward to, and I think it's next week, is Doomsday appearing again. And it's interesting. As a massive DCEU fan, and as you know, Batman v Superman fan, one of the Sean Sipsos, who plays Adam, said that this Doomsday is a better version than the Man of Steel one, blows it out of the park. And obviously, as a Batman v Superman fan, a DCEU fan, that kind of triggers me. But Sean, you can't get angry at Sean, and obviously he's plugging his own show. So far from what I've seen of Doomsday, I've been very, very, very impressed, to tell you the truth. This episode is a 9 out of 10 episode. I really, really enjoyed it. Again, Ken was great quality with Adam. Adam was great, all that stuff about he could calm Jax down because she really likes him. And then Val goes, no, no, no. So I don't know if he was referring that maybe Jax is into women and not men. That would be interesting. That wouldn't surprise me, of course. But, yeah, character of the week is definitely Jax. I absolutely love Jax. She is my absolutely favourite character. Coming close, though, is Segel. Cameron Cuff is one of my favourite people in this industry. He's doing amazing work, and he's so passionate about Superman and comic books, and I can't wait to see what he's got to say at San Diego Comic-Con as well. So what did you think of this week's episode of Krypton? What? You haven't seen it yet? Go and watch it. Then comment down below, like, share, and subscribe.